my name's Gid from the Advanced Guitar Centre. Today I'm joined by a guest, which is the first time this has happened. And this will be hopefully the first of many on what we're going to call Tone Talks. If that's too cringy and the comments in the below add up, we'll probably change the name, but I'm set on that anyway. This is Ginger Liam, my friend and fellow person.
Hey, you alright?
So basically today, the first thing we're going to do is on this episode, if you can call it an episode, is it an episode? It's more of a visual podcast or a vodcast.
A vodcast?
Or just a video, that'll do.
I like that.
We're going to talk about wood. And we're going to keep the double entendres to an absolute minimum. So first of all, should we talk about what you're going to be playing through, which is just a custom guitar that
Yep, this is my Ginger Liam Bodcaster. The body's made out of plywood, which is rubbish, but it's heavy.
The body's made out of some wood I found on the back of a lorry.
Literally, this thing it's a bodge. It's just all bodged together out of random bits of whatever I could find. Some bits I've got from here, like all the switches, the hardware, the bridge, the pickups, everything came from here. And then yeah, I just screwed it all together and tried to make it work, and it sounds pretty cool. So yeah,
we're going to be playing through my Marshall Hayes Forte, which I like and you like.
I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it.
Not many people have heard of them, to be honest. I think they've actually discontinued it.
It's the first time I've heard of them.
Well, Marshall have discontinued them and they don't build them anymore, and I think that's really cool. But knowing my luck, it'll be because they cause like fire hazards or something, or there's like some like weird circuitry in there that sort of makes it explode when you play it above 9.
There you go.
I'm using a Fender Stratocaster 1982 model. I'm not plugged in at the moment, might play a little bit later. I've actually just got this to hold something because otherwise I feel naked and you don't want to see that.
You want something to do with your animals.
Let's get this on with it anyway. So you want to talk first about...
Next. So we was discussing earlier, one, does it make a difference in the tone, which there's loads of people and they've all got their opinions, and
everybody's wrong, but you're right.
Well,
no, that's another thing I want to say as well, is everything that we say is our opinion, so feel free to get really upset about it in the comments below.
I don't think you can be wrong, because it's, for me, a guitar, it's how it makes you feel and how it responds to the way that you play it.
Yeah, cool, yeah, man, yeah, cool. So for me, with a guitar, I need the neck to feel a certain way. Sorry, it's just making me laugh what you said, because you're like, I don't know what you mean.
How it makes you feel,
it
yeah.
Is, it's just like the idea of you just sat in your living room, just like, come on, I just want to lay on my back and just hear the sun-kissed tones on my face and just play. But no, I do know what you mean.
It's not like, it's more how it feels in my hands and how it responds to how I'm playing it. So if I hit it a certain way and the guitar doesn't give me what I want, if it doesn't come back and give me the way that, I'm not talking any sense. If I hit it really hard,
welcome to my world.
If I hit the guitar really hard, I want it to sound loud, I want it to sound energetic, I want it to sound punchy. And if I hit it really soft, I want it to sound like a gentle wave on the ocean.
Caressing over your naked body.
That
will be forever in my mind.
So if I go, I want it to go, bah. Whereas if I play really subtle, I want it to respond the same way. I want it to do that. And it's more into pickups now, which we'll talk about in another video, but that is like, I want the pickups to react. To me, I want it to react to my fingers and what I'm telling it to do, and some things do it better than others, in my opinion.
For me, it's basically just wait and feel. That's it. So it doesn't really matter to me if it can feel uncomfortable, and necessarily just because something costs more doesn't make it. I mean, I've played guitars that are built from Empress wood, and some people think, which is a really like rare wood apparently.
Mhm.
I've never really heard of it myself because, like I say, not many guitars are made out of it. And it's really light and it doesn't really feel anything for me. But then like a heavier wood, it's too heavy. I had a Les Paul Epiphone years ago and it was like playing a settee. It's so heavy and uncomfortable. So for me, it really literally is how this feels and how heavy it is on me. And this, the neck is just down to the comfort. For instance, you've just played my Telecaster that I've got.
It's too fat for me.
Yeah, it's like playing a baseball bat. But for me, it's quite comfortable.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I come to like a smaller neck profile, I'm a bit sort of with my long gangly fingers.
I've got sausage fingers.
So I've got long, ladylike digits, which is nice. So, I've no idea what I was saying.
A big thing for me is how the neck's been finished. So I've got some guitars that have got like an oil finish and it's got a sort of like a dry wood feel, whereas this is really glossy, like really high gloss. And sometimes the glossy neck can get really sticky and sweaty.
I was going to say, when you play live, do you not find that when you're up on stage, a glossy neck can be a bit, what am I doing?
Yeah, sometimes, and other times not. Like I've gigged this and it was absolutely fine, not a problem. Where I've got a few other guitars and I've sanded the lacquer out of the back of the neck and finished it with like an oil.
Right.
Just because it was like, it was
right.
getting really sticky and really sweaty.
And it's not necessarily cheaper guitars, is it, that caused that? It can be
no, it
even
was
higher,
like
sort of
it was a
expensive.
really expensive guitar.
Yeah.
So I've devalued it immensely.
Yeah. You've
But
just shaved £150
It feels
high
nicer.
grade sandpaper. No, yeah, I've heard of that before. Actually, people sanding the backs of my, because I was tempted to do it on my Telecaster because it's a little bit, but then I think, I love my guitar. I don't really want to change
The
it.
thing to do would be to get a cheap neck and try it and see if it sounds how it
Try to do it
feels.
without spending money.
Yeah, find a guitar in a skip.
Right, so when we're talking about the neck profile, we didn't really talk about the fretboard
No, we didn't.
and what that does.
Again, for me, it's a feel thing, and also I'd much prefer the look of a maple board.
I've always exclusively played rosewood until I got a maple board, and then that was it.
And you
I hate rosewood now. I know this is. I think you were saying something earlier when we were talking before we started recording, and you said something about a signal in your head, and you think sometimes you're kidding yourself. A lot of people kid themselves into, and I think it's the same with me with rosewood boards. In my mind, I feel like the rosewood, because it feels more grainier to me.
Scratchy.
Yeah, so I feel like there's not as much when I'm bending.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm restricted, and I think that's probably in my head completely.
I've played some rosewood boards that feel terrible and they feel really scratchy, and when I bend, it like goes up the wood, and that is not a nice feeling. It feels awful. But then I've played other rosewood boards that have been looked after really well and they've been oiled up. Like
Yeah. So do you think that's what it is as well? It's down to
it could be if they've not been looked after.
Maybe I'm just rubbish.
I don't think you are. I think you're alright.
So yeah, it's no, it is. It's interesting because, like I said, we said this as well. The great thing about musical instruments are everyone's got an opinion, and I personally don't think anybody's wrong in their opinion because, like you said, it's complete preference.
Everything feels different. Like something that you play will feel completely different if I play it.
I play particularly hard, and you're really gentle.
Okay.
Which sounds.
I've not noticed, but
No, I just think you are. You're quite gentle.
I don't like press down super hard and.
I'm like I'm torturing an instrument. It sounds that way as well, I suppose. But no, you've got quite a. I think it's because of your speed as well. You're quite a technical player.
Sometimes.
So if you exerted more power in your play, you'd probably.
I might lose it if I was trying to play something fast. It's got to be like real small movement.
So yeah, body.
So the body wood, I am very opinionated on this, and don't shoot me. I don't feel like it makes any bit of difference whatsoever.
I think it's just weight and comfortableness.
It's if the guitar weighs, if it feels like it's solid, and when I plug it in, it sounds good. I don't care what it's made out of. It can
Like
be,
you said, that's plywood.
yeah, this is made out of plywood, and it just feels ace to play, and
It is really, really nice, isn't it? It doesn't.
I love this. I
Yeah.
think it's ace.
And you've got how many?
I've got a lot of a very popular guitar of this stature. So, and a lot of those they're lighter than this, but
How many Strats have you got?
I got 13.
13
Yeah.
Strats.
So
And then
there,
there's just this sort of bodged sort of ode to it that you've created, and you actually think this is one of your.
yeah, it's one of my favourites by far, and it's
Do
cost
you think it's
me.
because of the fact that it's
I've got that kind of connection with it because I've put the blood and sweat into it, but I've given it to my friends, and you've played it, and Gaz has played it, and they just like everyone's like it plays like a proper guitar. It doesn't. It's literally cost me like £250 to put together.
But your most expensive. I love the pickups, by the way,
Yellow makes
They're
it
amazing.
Makes it sound better.
and they're DiMarzio's on there.
Yeah, that's a Fast Track 2 and an Air Norton, which is hotter than I usually go for. But because it's purple and yellow, I had to go balls
It really
out.
does look amazing.
Other thing I mentioned was like the string doesn't actually come into contact with any of the.
It's not resonating. Is it?
No, it will. Obviously, it's gonna resonate in a
It's gonna make it
certain
different,
way.
yeah.
But I can't fathom how the pickups would transmit that. Like transmit how the body resonates. It just doesn't. It doesn't compute in my head. And I know a lot of people will absolutely.
Well, this is
shoot
what I was
me for
about
that.
to say. Is before everyone either switches off or is screaming at their computer
I
monitor.
might have been a bit too opinionated.
No. What I was going to say is let's go on to the other side of things, which is obviously where wood makes a complete difference, and that's acoustics.
Acoustic guitars for sure, because that is.
I've got a Dreadnought mahogany vintage, which we have in store here at AdvancedGuitarCentre.co.uk, which sounds, which just sounds amazing compared to like a round back, ones with a plastic round back,
Yeah.
or anything
Yeah,
like an electroacoustic, or just anything made out of anything. It's such a deep sound. It's when you hit it, it's the room shakes, and it just has this
Yeah.
amazing, lovely.
I was going to say like how. So it's more like a warmer, sort of deeper sound than a
It's
sort
the
of.
Barry White of
Oh yeah.
acoustic guitars. That's the one. Obviously, you play a lot of. I play a hell of a lot of acoustics. So I like a lot of folk music and stuff like that. So I do tend to play acoustics more.
I play a lot of acoustic at work for the recording projects and stuff. And pretty much my acoustic it'll come out for the beginning of the year and get absolutely smashed. And then it doesn't come out of the case again after. I don't. Some jam nights and that I've used it.
It's
but
not really what you do, though, is it? In terms
No.
of, I mean, you've told me before when you've recorded stuff, and you've done like popular artists now these days, like Ben Howard and stuff, and how he can make an acoustic guitar sound
He's
with his
insane.
crazy tuning.
He's insane. He's
so
like,
talented.
He's amazing. I love Ben Howard to bits. A thing I didn't mention, where wood's concerned, is sort of, I think the most important thing where the actual what the guitar's made out of does make a difference is the bridge and the nut, because the string anchors from the bridge. That's its starting point, and the end point is the nut. And there's things at the other side of them, but generally the
We'll
nut.
talk about them on another day.
Yeah, the nut. Like if you put like a brass nut on, it's going to sound different to a plastic nut for sure. It's just it's going to sound different, especially like on a Strat style. The pickups are mounted into a plastic pickguard, so that the woods can't affect that as much as it would on like an acoustic, where the whole thing is creating the sound, whereas on a guitar, on electric guitar, the pickups are transmitting the sound.
Going back to the wood body, the body, and stuff. You know what that's made of. We stock on the website in our kits and stuff that we sell. I think the majority of them are made out of alder, and that tends to be where I'm. And I think a lot of Fender instruments are made out of alder, aren't they?
Yeah, it's light. It's good. It's
but it's
good.
not too light, is it?
No, it's got a good weight.
That seems to be where I'm happy with that kind of.
Yeah, if the weight's good. For me, it doesn't matter. I don't care if the weight of the instrument is good. The neck feels great. The pickups respond to what I'm doing. I'm happy. Completely happy.
So there you have it. Hopefully, we've not bored you to death or a tumbleweed didn't roll by or anything like that. It's something. Again, it's our opinion. Mostly Liam's because he knows more than me, which is why he's sat here. I'm just a mouth. It's our opinion. So feel free to leave any comments on Facebook or on Twitter or on the YouTube channel below. Obviously, I'll leave a link not to the amplifier because this is mine and you cannot buy it. We do have that guitar. This is for purchase, and I'll leave a link to it on the website as well.
That's great. This as well. It's really nice.
I think for me, it's just the fact that it's it's road worn and it does sound lovely as well.
It sounds so clean and glassy on a clean
like
channel.
you said, it's two completely guitars. Great. So yeah. Anyway, mine has been Gid Gilbert, and that's Ginger Liam. So. No. You'll get there. Is that because of the worn of the thing?
I think it's because
Leave comments below in regards to Liam's exposed chest.
Do you want to do that last bit again? Because we're playing.
That's fine.